Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you. A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin. Yes, but just Halsin will suffice. Unbecoming to demand honorifics from the one who saved my hide. Indeed? Well, not the most opportune moment, but given the lengths you went to, I assume there's some urgency. Come on then, what's the problem? Unless you'd rather wait for an audience of goblins. I see. It's spreading then. You suffer from the very same blight I came here to investigate. I thought all the afflicted worked together. Clearly I was wrong. No visible signs of ceremorphosis. Just like the others. The good news is, you have time. The bad news, I don't know how much. I will do my best to help you, but before that, there's work to do. Blood to spill. I cannot allow these butchers to threaten my grove. The natural order must be protected. Rare is the beast that survives decapitation. Help me eliminate the Drow Minthara, the Hobgoblin Draw Ragslin, and that perversion of a priestess, Gut. They are the ones holding these parasites together. Remove them, and nature will cure itself. You did? Nature's found a most furious defender in you. Very well. Return to the grove. I'll make my own way there. Then we can see about this parasite of yours.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp, for whenever thou hast need of my services. Be assured, it is not by choice. A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Because it is my calling, there is little else to explain. A matter of coin. Then I shall wait here patiently until it is acquired.
Yes, my friend? I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mindflares, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know? Quite shocking. The druid Halsin had some kind of Mindflare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. As a matter of fact, I do. But why do you? That can't be. You're mad. But tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceremorphosis by now. I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a Mindflare. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected. If what you say were true, you'd be a Mindflare by now. You? Infected by a Mindflare? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, my dear sweet gods! If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
Something the matter? Fine. What's on your mind? Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind. You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly, but all things considered, you'll do. I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with. Find a healer, and the sooner the better. I have other matters to attend to beyond this affliction. So that's to say you'd like to pry a little. You do seem like the type, I must say. Inquisitive, looking for connection. It's every man for himself, and you're looking to make friends. Admirable, I suppose. Or desperate. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I think you'll find that I am. Knowing what makes people tick is a skill of mine. If you want something from a person, you need to know when and where to squeeze. And I've revealed all I'm willing to. At least for now. Now I suggest you let matters rest. Or else we'd better part ways.
I know you've got questions, but let me ask you one first. You ever want something so bad, you'd stop at nothing to get it? Then I reckon you'll understand. Spike and his goblin cronies torched the whole god's damned village. The bugger gouged out my eye and left us all to burn. I vowed to the hells and the heavens that I'd make him pay. So rose a woman from the town's ashes. She called herself Mizora. My soul shivered as soon as her lips touched my ears. She promised I'd have my revenge. Mizora would forge me into a hero. I'd have the power to slay my every enemy, save their every victim. All in exchange for my endless devotion. She only revealed her true form after I'd said yes. A Cambion. Half human, half devil. She gave me a new eye, a sending stone to connect us. For calling on me whenever she so wished, my soul became hers, in this life and beyond. The flames and fury of the 9 hells themselves. She showed me how to conjure fire and to command beasts. The more I craved, the more she promised. Balls of fire, festering clouds. I went from spoiled brat to savior. My way of avenging every blameless life taken. Slay enough monsters, save enough villages, and there could be peace. I reckon you know the answer. There is no path to peace through the hells, though I searched long for it. I told Mizora I wanted out. We were still arguing when the squiddy snatched us both. After the crash, goblins plucked her from her pod and... well, I reckon you know the rest. I don't know what the drow want with Mizora, but she promised to break our bond if I save her. I free her, and she frees me. Mizora demanded a price I was unwilling to pay. One I won't speak of. Not now, and not here. The bargain is void if she's killed, near as I can tell. A nigh impossible task, even for the blade. If the drow slayed her, they'd do me a great favor. Or so I think on the darkest days. But she still lives. They want something from her. Gods know what. Thank you. Your loyalty means more than the whole of the realm's riches.
You don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire. A slave to sanguine hunger.
I've never killed anyone. Well, not for food. I feed on animals. Boars. Deer. Kobolds. Whatever I can get. But it's not enough. Not if I have to fight. I feel so weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer. Fight better. Please. At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me. Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further? I only need a taste. I swear. Really? Of course. Not one drop more.
He holds you carefully, delicately, until he strikes. It's like a shard of ice into your neck, a quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
Oh, of course. That was amazing. My mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy. Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling.
You watch as he stalks towards the forest, stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
This is a gift, you know. I won't forget it. Good morning. How do you feel? It'll pass. Just be glad I'm not a true vampire. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn, like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers. Oh no, I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Some of the rules, at least. Running water still burns like acid. And I don't know if I need an invitation to enter a house. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time. That's my theory, but who knows? I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
Hunting with vampires? Never thought I'd see the day. Very well. But I'm keeping an eye on you. And no wisecracks about having us for supper.
Oh, and a quick word of warning, Astarion. I taste absolutely awful. Keep your distance.
Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty to work together as a team.
I just better not wake with any holes in my neck.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us.
Hope you're keeping well, friend. Not owner. Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. No one can replace him. But I'm glad to have somewhere to lay my head. Oh, thank you. That's nice.
Tastes like chicken. No chicken. Tastes like fish. Gentlemen, contain yourselves. This quarrel sours our feast. Besides, tastes like pork. And what surprise is this? Brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another prize. Fortune favors our bellies. Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show us the brand of the absolute. Am I not astonishing? A robust diet makes for a shrewd mind, you see. I am a gourmand. And you, a delicacy. Unless you bear the mark, of course. Indeed. How regrettable that your meat must go unsavored. Food? Food. Not food. Friend. I've no use for the Absolute, or any god. I follow two masters only. Gluttony and greed. The goblins understand my appetites. They sate my hunger for gold. And the rest sate my hunger for meat. Boss Goblin give gold. We check brand. Good deal. No talk. We follow the sense of blood and gold to all lands fertile, friend. And this land proves particularly fruitful. I am, by all accounts, a student of higher commerce and extortion. Make me an offer. Tempt me. A slip of the tongue. You meant to make a better offer, surely. A serenade to my ears and a boon to my belly. We've a bargain, my tasty kibble. Take my bone horn. One blow and the ground will quake with my family name. Use it when the need arises, and never a moment before. Ogre kill everyone around, then Ogre eats them. Well spoken, indeed. Ogre kill everyone around. We will keep close. When you are ready, sound the horn.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Marina.
Just let her go. Please.
You there? Please, I don't know what's come over these boys. I just want to go home.
The old woman's face creases with false concern. You realize she's lying about seeing this girl, Marina.
Stop this! We won't ask again!
Careful! Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough. Where is she?
Bollocks! You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice? You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed and an apology at the ready. Bye-bye now.
Bloody hells. She just disappeared. Ain't seen nothing like that before.
She could shoot fireworks out of her backside for all I care. The hag has Rena!
It's our sister, Marina. She's... well... she was in a bad way after her husband died.
Started saying weird things, like how she was gonna bring him back.
Next thing, she's gone looking for the hag. Of all the stupid things to do. And we haven't seen her since. And no good ever came from dealing with a hag.
None of this matters, all right? We need to get her back, and fast! I don't remember bloody asking you.
Hold on, Joel. Let him talk. What would you suggest?
Are you joking? I ain't got a clue who you are. No way I'm leaving Rena to you.
But, Joel...
Not a chance. We're getting her back on our own. Now, come on.
A chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched. You blink, and the wilderness changes. A swamp, stinking and insidious, assaults your senses.
Ah, stranger. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
Powdered iron vine. An old hunter's trick. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me.
You're a monster hunter. I'm surprised. I thought all Ger were vagrant cutthroats.
And more. We steal chickens, curse your crops, seduce your daughters, the list goes on. I wish I had half the power settled folk think my people possess. Alas, I am a simple wanderer. A simple wanderer and monster hunter. But I'm no witch doctor or cutthroat.
Something terrifying, no doubt. Dragon? Cyclops? Kobold?
Nothing so dramatic. I'm hunting for a vampire spawn. His name is Astarion, but I fear he's gone to ground. I hope the hag of these lands can help me flush him out, if I can afford her blood price. Not this time. My orders are to capture him.
Oh. And bring him where, exactly?
Baldur's Gate. My people wait for me there. Thank you. Treating with a hag. I need all the luck I can get. May your road be kind.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, girl.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for two, so get to it. If it isn't the cheekiest pup of them all. You'd best have one hells of an apology for me, young man. Ah, I do like the mouthy ones. You know, I was gonna give you a swift kick up the arse and show you the door, but I think you and I could have a bit of fun together. Gods grant me patience. Eat up, Marina. I won't say it again. Keep that hole under your nose shut, or things will get messy.
Well, you heard the lady. We don't want things to get messy.
What is it? What's going on? That can't be true. Auntie Ethel.
Yes, your brothers are dead. And before you ask, yes, I killed them. They were being rude, and I detest rudeness.
You monster! The deal is off!
Enough, away with you. Blessed silence at last. Some time in the cage should do her good. And you'll regret sticking your nose in my business.
You feel crushing waves of fear as the presence within the door recoils. It can't let people through. Not again. Images flash. A man cowering, a bag open at his feet, gold coins spilling onto the floor. His cries for mercy are cut short as the hag slices into him, removing limb by painstaking limb. She cackles, the man's remaining flesh twisted and contorted, becoming the twisted surface of the door before you. Flee, you feel it cry. A scene appears in your mind. 2 paladins and a cleric marching through the door, shrouded in the glow of the divine. Weapons brandished, they charge into the hag's lair. Screams of terror pierce the air. You see an image of blue skies and sunshine as the door shudders a warning. Run. Its form flickers, and you realize that the door is transparent. You see the hag. She walks through the door, its form shimmering. The lightest touch of hope brushes your mind as the presence within retreats. You feel the barest hint of life from within the door. You see the hag, eyes bright with glee, as she sets fire to the door. With a jerk, you're pulled from the vision. The presence within shrinks, begging you not to run through it.
Good little pet.
No, no! Don't look! Mustn't look, mustn't see! I see it. What's to come? Me. Dead. Dead! Flesh rotten, bone shining! No. Future. Bone splitting. Knife twisting. Skull screaming. Future! Gods, don't hurt me! Oh, please, 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 please! Monster! Monster! For mind-dripping, flesh-peeling, Mindflare! No! No! Mindflare! Get away! Get away!
The creature's eyes roll back in its head, equal parts bliss and agony.
Come! See! My flesh becomes new flesh!
She'd eaten, feasted. And yet, looking into her eyes, you can see it wasn't enough. She's still hungry. You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. Gnolls, vicious, monstrous humanoids, can spawn from the corpses of dying hyenas. You land a swift strike against her skull. She yelps, then goes still. As the light fades from her eyes, the gnoll within her dies too, stillborn.
Hold up! One more step and I'll put a bolt through your eye! No sudden movements or you're dead. You looking for me? Hurt or not, I won't miss. Lung, heart, arse, or eye. Take your pick. Tell me what you're doing here. Now. All right. Maybe the blood loss is making me soft, but I'm going to trust you. For now, I'm in a tight spot. I might not be able to get out of it alone. All right. Come on over here. But fair warning, you might find this hard to believe. I'm a fugitive. I escaped the Hells, and the bastards who are holding me there are trying to take me back. Really? You're serious?
As she winces, agony shoots through you, as if your bodies shared the same wound. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
Starka! What was that? You were inside my head. Yeah, with distinction. Now tell me what you just did, before I make sure you can never do it again. Hold on a minute. You were on that ship, with the tentacles and the worms. I didn't think anyone else had survived. I boarded in Avernus. That ship was my way out. You're lucky I did. The place would have been crawling with cultists if I'd stuck around. And they'd have dragged us all back to Avernus. I was a prisoner, forced to fight in the Blood War. The eternal battle between bad and worse. Most souls in Avernus are just meat for the grinder, but not me. I held my own. More than. Turns out that I've got a knack for killing demons. And I enjoy it. And that made me a valuable asset. Devils don't like to lose their assets. They're not the kind of people you can run from. I need them dead. Fuck yes! They cornered me in the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the beating I gave them. I'd come with you just to see them bleed, but I'm too busy bleeding myself. I'll be here when you're done.
At ease, friend. The gnolls hit us hard, but this place is still safe. It's under Tyr's protection. Save your praise. The fight was a disaster. We lost 2 men to the gnolls, and they weren't even our target. In truth, we could use some help. Our mission is holy, but we need to rest. We're Paladins of Tear, sworn to protect those in need. He sent us here to hunt a devil. Kill the fiend for us, and we'll reward you well. She has the form of a tiefling, with a single horn, but she's an infernal being, straight out of the 9 hells.
You recognize the description. The wounded tiefling you met by the river.
She slaughtered countless refugees. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family. The mother had been pregnant. And you're lucky to be alive. If you see her again, bring me her head.
If you want to go poking around in the cellar, be my guest. Plug your nose first, though. Corpse, half rotted to mush. Must have been down there a 10-day or more. It was a toll house. By the time we arrived, it was more like a slaughterhouse. There's more monsters than coin moving down this road. There's a locked door down the hatch. Doesn't look like anyone's managed to get in. If there's any gold left, that's where it'll be.
You won't get any further this way, friend. Road's blocked up ahead. Rockfall in the ravine. Perfect spot for an ambush. I killed the biggest, ugliest one myself. My friends inside took care of the rest.
By the gods, you're a sweet sight. Are any of my crew still alive out there? This whole journey's been one grim sight after another. Gnolls, goblins, drow. Risen Road's more dangerous than ever. You're the first friendly face we've seen since Eltergard. We're bound for Baldur's Gate. Got some cargo to deliver. But we've a stop to make along the way. Joquins Rest. It's just up the road. I'd be enjoying a mug of ale right now if those beasts hadn't jumped us. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only. Tell the fellow on the door, Little Serpent, Long Shadow. He'll take good care of you. Aye, the whole reason we're in this mess. Trinkets for some rich tosser in Baldur's Gate. He gets his shiny baubles. We get a handful of tarenths.
Tarenths are the currency of the Zentarim, a network of merchants and mercenaries with few scruples.
You know who we are. Very clever. And you probably also know it's not smart to interfere with Zent business. This is the point when a clever lad like you accepts my gratitude and walks away. Coin ain't any use to the dead, and dead's what I'll be if I welch on this deal. Let's go our separate ways and be thankful we're all in one piece.
So you threatened your way into ownership of that chest. Now that it's yours, what will you do with it? So that means you're not curious as to what's inside. Very well, suit yourself.
My, what manner of place is this?
a patch of ground to call home. Some rest for the wicked, after all. What would suit the occasion? The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that, love, was that. They do know how to write them in Cormyr, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service. Neither. The fox, rather. Hiding, in a word. A silent observer, about to break the silence. Of course, what I have to say merits some privacy, as well as some more, let's call it, refinement. Yes, this encampment is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come. There, middle of somewhere. The House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last. Call it a ninth sense. What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do.
Holler in hells. You're a Cambion.
And so much more. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain. Come now, why play hard to get when you're in deep over your tadpoled head? One skull, two tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that. Take all the time you need. But make up your mind before you're counting down with tentacles. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease. I'll be around, watching you squirm like a tadpole through a nice, juicy brain. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
Bloody hells. Literally. Just when I think I've got a grasp on our dilemma, a devil shows up. No matter. We've dealt with every other oddity thrown at us lately. We can handle this one too. Now, as for this Raphael, he knows our secret. He claims he can help. What do you make of him? I suppose it was a lot to take in. A devil sought us out, teased us with his help, but he also stared as if we were the banquet, rather than the one on the table. We can't hedge our bets here. Best we decide how to deal with him, if at all. You know, failing to make a decision is the same as making a decision. Except you decide blindly. My point is that Raphael was stirring the pot, trying to unsettle us. I know people who work much like our new acquaintance does. You don't need a scourge or a rack to break people. Fear and self-doubt are sufficient. When actual pain comes, the victim's already done the heavy lifting for their torturer. There were no right answers with that devil. He was toying with his food, us. Cunning people, private, and very dangerous at times. Perhaps you'll meet them one day. See? Sowing doubt is an old trick. Watch out for it. And for Raphael.
Now there's a bloody devil trailing after us. Well, this gets better and better. Shop around, he said. He seems sure we won't find anything. And he might be right. We've had no luck so far. Maybe. But all that, take your time, I'll wait, nonsense. He's playing with us. Cazador liked to toy with people too. Let them think there was hope, right until the end. Until he snatched it all away. Creatures like them don't play games, unless they know they can win. We keep hunting for answers. What other choice do we have? This is no ordinary Mindflare parasite. Who tampered with it, and why? What do they have planned for us? And why are we important enough that a devil comes knocking on our door? If we find those answers, we might have a chance.
Do you feel as flattered as I do? A Cambion came courting us. Believe me, that was a devil's equivalent of serenades and roses. Don't let his bluster fool you. All that talk of desperation merely illustrates his own. I think he wants something from us, badly. And in that knowledge lies our opportunity. Our souls. But I suspect that's but his opening offer. Let me play the devil deal's advocate. The man is too eager. Do not dismiss his offer out of hand. Raphael is a Cambion, which makes him part human, and what is human is fallible. Fine, but my reasoning is this. Fact one, there's something very strange and very powerful about our tadpoles. Fact two, a devil offers to take it away. What if the tadpole is what he really wants instead of the customary price that is our souls? If I'm right, there's a mighty bargain to be made. Remember his Cormyrean rhyme? Down came the claw. Perhaps we should start growing our nails.
The devil with the silver tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? That's because you still have hope, but when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you what you're least ready to part with. And then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
This devil, Raphael, flaunts his paltry wings as if he wants to impress us. You saw the red dragon slaying his infernal kin above hell's fires, did you not? Next to a dragon, the devil's a gnat. When I am Kithrak, I will take my Queen Vlaakith his head as a trophy. Githyanki Knights, the riders that chase the Nautiloid. They are the commissars and enforcers of my Queen Vlaakith's will. Vlaakith bestows no greater honor. To wield a Kithrak's silver sword is my destiny. I will earn my queen's favor, and I will conquer every layer of hell should she command it. The Geich are my kind's mortal enemy. It is not unusual for the Kithrak to give chase. To penetrate the hells, this is unusual. But I'm not one to question the wisdom of my queen. I can see but to the horizon. Vlaakith's sight pierces the many planes.